Rosemary's Baby is really one of the most remarkable films of the year, I think. It's the reaction to it, and it's certainly a giant step for you as a director. It has a number of scenes in it that I'm sure, in this country at least, half a dozen years ago, couldn't have been filmed. Do you think this trend that we see going on now towards more frankness, more boldness related to sex is going to continue?
Well, I think so, at least for some period of time, because within civilization, these things somehow comes back and goes away again.
In cycles?
I mean, yeah, not so far ago. How many years ago?
I was arrested on a train.
Where? How do you feel about violence in films?
Well, I don't feel that violence can make any harm to anybody either. And I think that this sudden awakening of some of producer circles in Hollywood, etc., and sudden violence against violence is just a bad feeling that they have about things that are happening in this society, and they are looking for some little phony excuse. I do not believe that any violence on television or cinema screen can inspire violence. I don't think that I don't believe in the idea monkey see, monkey do.
Many sociologists, as a matter of fact, seem to feel today that scenes in films or TV can actually act as a catharsis.
I'm positive. I tell you what I think is really dangerous, and what kind of violence can inspire violence. It's the sterilized, the Hollywood type of violence. I mean, in typical Hollywood Western, they excite you during an hour and a half. They tease you against this bad man who beats everybody, and he's so nasty, and you can't stand him anymore. And in the last moment, the good man with white heart calms and draws and bumps him off without any blood. A very clean job, and somehow subconsciously from the kid it develops in your brain idea that when somebody bothers you, you can take judgment upon him, and very easy to get rid of him without any blood, without convulsions, without vomiting, without. I saw war, I saw violence, I saw all things that didn't make me more violent. I can't stand blood. I can stand blood in film because I know it's pain, and this is an amusement for me to do violence. But I do not believe that it can inspire violence. Beside areas that I sometimes.
Record high cases, deaths, and hospitalizations in the U.S. right now, and those numbers are climbing. How bad do you expect things to get over the next 3 or 4 months before the vaccine is widely available?
Well, sadly, the next 4 to 6 months could be the worst of the epidemic. The IHME forecast shows over 200,000 additional deaths. If we would follow the rules in terms of wearing masks and not mixing, we could avoid a large percentage of those deaths. So in the near term, it's bad news.
You've been sounding the alarm on the threat posed by infectious diseases and pandemics for years. Even in your wildest dreams, did you think it would ever get this bad in the United States?
No, I thought the United States would do a better job handling it. Overall, when I did the forecast in 2015, I talked about the deaths potentially being higher. So this virus could be more fatal than it is. We didn't get the worst case. But the thing that's surprised me is that the economic impact in the U.S. and around the world has been much greater than the forecast that I made 5 years ago.
Your foundation just announced a new $250 million pledge to help fight COVID. That's in addition to the more than $1 billion you've already committed. Why did you do this? And specifically, where's the money going to go?
We saw a unique role for us. We've been funding a lot of the research for the vaccines. We're very agile. We're a partner in a thing called CEPI, which is the second biggest funder after the U.S. government. So in diagnostic therapy and vaccines, we know where the science is. We know how the pieces need to come together in an urgent way. And so our expertise in infectious disease, which normally only relates to developing countries, applied to the entire world for this crisis.
These vaccines were created and tested in record time, under a year. According to the data right now, they have a very high effectiveness, more than 90%. How much credit for the success do you think Operation Warp Speed and President Trump deserve?
Well, the mRNA vaccines, which the first two are, our foundation and others have been backing for quite some time. Now, Pfizer teamed up with BioNTech, a partner of ours, and did not take government money, so they, went out on their own. Moderna got money before there was an Operation Warp Speed, back when it was the just called BARDA,